Here are 30 most commonly asked interview questions, along with detailed answers for DevOps manager positions. 1. What is your approach to implementing a DevOps culture within an organization? Answer: establishing a DevOps culture requires fostering collaboration, transparency, and continuous improvement across development, operations, and other stakeholders. As a DevOps manager, I would advocate for cross-functional teams, encourage knowledge sharing, and promote automation to streamline workflows and break down silos. Additionally, I would emphasize the importance of feedback loops, measurement, and iteration to drive cultural transformation and align teams towards common goals. 2. How do you prioritize tasks and projects in a DevOps environment with competing demands and limited resources? Answer: prioritizing tasks in a DevOps environment involves aligning initiatives with business objectives, assessing impact and urgency, and considering resource constraints. As a DevOps manager, I would collaborate with stakeholders to establish clear priorities. Leverage agile methodologies like Kanban or Scrum for iterative planning and delivery, and empower teams to make data-driven decisions. Additionally, I would emphasize the importance of risk management, communication, and adaptability to address changing priorities and unexpected challenges effectively. 3. Describe your experience with implementing CI or CD pipelines and automation frameworks. Answer: I have extensive experience in implementing CI or CD pipelines and automation frameworks to accelerate software delivery, improve quality, and enhance collaboration across development and operations teams. I have leveraged tools like Jenkins, GitLab, CI or CD, or AWS Codepipeline to automate build, test, and deployment processes, establish consistent workflows, and enable continuous integration and delivery practices. Additionally, I have integrated automated testing, code quality checks, and deployment orchestration to ensure reliability, scalability, and repeatability in CI or CD pipelines. 4. How do you ensure security and compliance in a DevOps environment without slowing down the development process? Answer: ensuring security and compliance in a DevOps environment requires integrating security practices and controls throughout the software development lifecycle. As a DevOps manager, I would implement security by design principles, conduct regular security assessments, and automate security checks in CI or CD pipelines. I would also promote a culture of security awareness, provide training and resources for developers, and collaborate with security and compliance teams to define and enforce policies, standards, and controls effectively. 5. How do you measure the success and effectiveness of DevOps initiatives within an organization? Answer: measuring the success of DevOps initiatives involves defining key performance indicators (KPIs), aligned with business objectives and tracking metrics related to delivery speed, quality, reliability, and customer satisfaction. As a DevOps manager, I would use metrics like lead time, deployment frequency, mean time to recovery enter, and customer feedback scores to assess the impact of DevOps practices and identify areas for improvement. Additionally, would leverage tools like monitoring systems, analytics platforms, and feedback mechanisms to gather actionable insights and drive continuous improvement. 6. Describe your experience with managing cloud infrastructure and orchestrating containerized workloads. Answer: I have managed cloud infrastructure and orchestrated containerized workloads using platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform (GCP). I have expertise in provisioning and configuring infrastructure as code using tools like Terraform or AWS CloudFormation, enabling infrastructure automation, scalability, and repeatability. Additionally, I have deployed and managed containerized applications using orchestration platforms like Kubernetes or Docker Swarm, optimizing resource utilization and ensuring high availability fault tolerance and performance. 7. How do you handle incidents and outages in a DevOps environment? And what strategies do you use to minimize downtime and impact on customers? Answer: handling incidents and outages in a DevOps environment involves implementing incident response processes, establishing clear roles and responsibilities, and prioritizing rapid resolution and communication. As a DevOps manager, I would create runbooks, playbooks, and escalation procedures for different scenarios. Conduct post-incident reviews to identify root causes and lessons learned, and implement preventive measures and automation to minimize recurrence and mitigate impact on customers. 8. Describe your experience with managing and scaling microservices architectures. Answer: have managed and scaled microservices architectures by designing loosely coupled, independently deployable services, implementing service discovery, load balancing, and circuit breaking patterns, and leveraging containerization and orchestration technologies like Docker and Kubernetes. I have optimized service communication and data consistency, monitored performance and reliability metrics, and implemented strategies like auto-scaling and horizontal pod autoscaling to ensure scalability, resilience, and efficient resource utilization in dynamic environments. 9. How do you foster a culture of continuous learning and improvement within a DevOps team? Answer: fostering a culture of continuous learning and improvement involves providing opportunities for skill development, knowledge sharing, and experimentation. As a DevOps manager, I would encourage participation in training programs, conferences, and workshops, sponsor certifications, and promote communities of practice and mentorship. I would also facilitate blameless post-mortems, retrospectives, and innovation initiatives to encourage reflection, collaboration, and innovation, and recognize and celebrate achievements and contributions within the team. 10. How do you handle resistance to change and cultural barriers when introducing DevOps practices within an organization? Answer: handling resistance to change and cultural barriers requires effective communication, stakeholder engagement, and change management strategies. As a DevOps manager, I would engage with stakeholders at all levels, identify concerns and objections, and address them through transparent communication, education, and collaboration. I would highlight the benefits of DevOps practices, involve teams in decision-making processes, and lead by example to inspire trust, ownership, and commitment to cultural transformation and continuous improvement. 11. What strategies do you use to recruit, retain, and develop top talent in a competitive DevOps job market? Answer: recruiting, retaining, and developing top talent involves creating a compelling employer brand, offering competitive compensation and benefits, and providing opportunities for career growth and advancement. As a DevOps manager, I would establish a talent acquisition strategy aligned with organizational goals, leverage diverse sourcing channels, and implement rigorous selection processes to attract high-caliber candidates. I would also invest in employee development, provide ongoing feedback and coaching, and create a supportive and inclusive work environment to foster engagement, motivation, and retention. 12. Describe your experience with implementing infrastructure as code EAC practices and tools in DevOps environments. Answer: I have implemented infrastructure as code EAC practices and tools like Terraform, AWS, CloudFormation, or Ansible to automate the provisioning and management of infrastructure resources. I have defined infrastructure configurations declaratively using code, version-controlled infrastructure definitions, and automated deployment processes to ensure consistency, reliability, and scalability. Additionally, have leveraged EAC to enable infrastructure automation, repeatability, and auditability, and reduce manual effort and human error in managing cloud resources and environments. 13. How do you ensure effective collaboration and communication between development, operations, and other cross-functional teams in a DevOps environment? Answer: ensuring effective collaboration and communication involves fostering a culture of trust, transparency, and accountability, and providing platforms and tools for seamless interaction and knowledge sharing. As a DevOps manager, I would promote cross-functional teams, establish shared goals and metrics, and facilitate regular meetings, stand-ups, and workshops to align priorities and coordinate activities. Additionally, I would leverage collaboration tools like Slack, Jira, or Microsoft Teams to streamline communication, document decisions, and capture feedback, enabling continuous collaboration and feedback loops. 14. Describe your experience with implementing and managing DevOps toolchains and ecosystems. Answer: I have experience in implementing and managing DevOps toolchains and ecosystems, integrating tools for source code management, continuous integration, continuous delivery, configuration management, monitoring, and collaboration. I have selected, configured, and customized tools like Git, Jenkins, Ansible, Prometheus, and Jira to meet specific requirements and workflows, and integrated them using APIs, plugins, or automation scripts. Additionally, I have evaluated emerging technologies and best practices to evolve and optimize DevOps toolchains for scalability, resilience, and efficiency. 15. How do you ensure high availability, fault tolerance, and disaster recovery in DevOps environments? And what strategies do you use to minimize downtime and data loss? Answer: ensuring high availability, fault tolerance, and disaster recovery in DevOps environments involves designing resilient architectures, implementing redundancy, and automating failover and recovery processes. As a DevOps manager, I would leverage cloud services, distributed systems, and infrastructure automation to build fault-tolerant and scalable solutions. I would implement strategies like active-active or active-passive deployments, multi-region redundancy, and data replication to minimize downtime and data loss, and conduct regular disaster recovery drills and simulations to validate and improve recovery procedures. 16. How do you manage technical debt and ensure code quality and maintainability in a DevOps environment with fast-paced development cycles? Answer: managing technical debt involves balancing the need for speed and innovation with the need for stability, reliability, and maintainability. As a DevOps manager, I would prioritize refactoring, code reviews, and automated testing to address technical debt incrementally and prevent it from accumulating. I would implement coding standards, static code analysis, and continuous integration practices to ensure code quality, detect defects early, and maintain a high level of code maintainability and readability. Additionally, I would allocate time for backlog grooming and technical debt reduction initiatives. An advocate for sustainable development practices and architectural decisions to minimize long-term maintenance costs and risks. 17. Describe your experience with implementing and managing containerization and orchestration platforms like Docker and Kubernetes. Answer: I have experience in implementing and managing containerization and orchestration platforms like Docker and Kubernetes to streamline application deployment, scaling, and management. I have containerized applications using Docker, defined Docker files and container images, and orchestrated containerized workloads using Kubernetes clusters. Additionally, I have configured Kubernetes features like pods, services, deployments, and ingress controllers to ensure high availability, scalability, and reliability for microservices architectures and cloud-native applications. 18. How do you ensure compliance with regulatory requirements, security standards, and industry best practices in DevOps environments? Answer: ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements and security standards involves implementing controls, policies, and procedures to protect sensitive data, mitigate risks, and demonstrate compliance. As a DevOps manager, I would collaborate with compliance, security, and legal teams to define requirements, assess risks, and establish governance frameworks for DevOps practices and technologies. I would implement security controls like access controls, encryption, and audit logging, and automate compliance checks and validation, using tools like Chef Inspect, Terraform Compliance, or AWS Config to ensure continuous compliance and adherence to industry best practices. 19. How do you handle budgeting, resource allocation, and cost optimization in DevOps initiatives and projects? Answer: handling, budgeting, resource allocation, and cost optimization involves aligning DevOps initiatives with business priorities, forecasting resource requirements, and optimizing resource utilization to maximize value and return on investment. As a DevOps manager, I would work closely with finance, procurement, and project management teams to develop budgets, track expenses, and allocate resources effectively. I would leverage cloud cost management tools, usage analytics, and cost optimization frameworks like AWS Cost Explorer, Azure Cost Management, or Google Cloud Cost Optimization to monitor, analyze, and optimize cloud spending and infrastructure costs. Additionally, I would implement cost-aware development practices, right-sizing strategies, and reserved instances to optimize costs while maintaining performance, reliability, and scalability in DevOps projects. 20. How do you ensure transparency, accountability, and governance in DevOps initiatives? And what metrics do you use to track progress and performance? Answer: ensuring transparency, accountability, and governance involves establishing clear roles and responsibilities, defining processes and standards, and implementing metrics and controls to track progress and performance. As a DevOps manager, I would establish governance frameworks, define service-level objective slots, and implement key performance indicators (KPIs) aligned with business goals. I would track metrics like lead time, deployment frequency, change failure rate, and mean time to recovery to measure delivery speed, reliability, and efficiency. Additionally, I would implement dashboards, reports, and automated alerts to provide visibility into project status, identify trends, and facilitate data-driven decision-making in DevOps initiatives. 21. Describe your experience with implementing DevSecOps practices and integrating security into the DevOps pipeline. Answer: have experience in implementing DevSecOps practices to integrate security into the DevOps pipeline and shift security left in the software development lifecycle. I have automated security testing, vulnerability scanning, and compliance checks in CI or CD pipelines, using tools like OWASP, ZAP, SonarQube, or SNCC to identify and remediate security issues early. Additionally, I have implemented security controls like code reviews, static and dynamic analysis, and dependency scanning to enforce secure coding practices and mitigate risks. I have also collaborated with security teams to define security requirements, threat models, and security policies, and integrated security tooling and best practices into DevOps workflows to ensure continuous security and compliance in software delivery processes. 22. How do you handle performance, optimization, and scalability challenges in DevOps environments with growing workloads and user demands? Answer: handling performance optimization and scalability challenges involves identifying bottlenecks, analyzing system metrics, and implementing optimizations and scaling strategies to meet growing workloads and user demands. As a DevOps manager, I would conduct performance testing, capacity planning, and load testing to assess system performance and scalability characteristics. I would optimize application code, database queries, and resource utilization to improve efficiency and responsiveness. Additionally, I would implement auto-scaling, horizontal scaling, and catching strategies to dynamically adjust resources and handle spikes in traffic or demand effectively. 23. Describe your approach to managing change and releases in DevOps environments. And how do you ensure smooth deployments and rollback procedures? Answer: managing change and releases in DevOps environments involves implementing robust change management processes, version control, and deployment automation to ensure smooth deployments and minimize disruptions. As a DevOps manager, I would establish release pipelines, define deployment stages, and automate release orchestration using tools like Jenkins, GitLab, CI or CD, or AWS CoDeploy. I would implement blue-green deployments, canary releases, and feature toggles to minimize risk and enable controlled rollouts. Additionally, I would conduct rollback drills, implement automated rollback procedures, and monitor deployment metrics and health checks to detect and respond to issues quickly. 24. How do you ensure data protection, privacy, and compliance with data regulations like GDPR or HIPAA in DevOps environments? Answer: ensuring data protection, privacy, and compliance with data regulations involves implementing data governance, encryption, and access controls to protect sensitive data and maintain compliance with regulatory requirements. As a DevOps manager, I would collaborate with data management, privacy, and legal teams to define data classification, handling, and retention policies. I would implement encryption at rest and in transit, tokenization, and data anonymization techniques to protect data confidentiality and integrity. Additionally, I would implement access controls, audit, logging, and monitoring to enforce data access policies and demonstrate compliance with regulations like GDPR or HIPAA. 25. Describe your experience with incident management, root cause analysis, and continuous improvement in DevOps environments. Answer: I have experience in incident management, root cause analysis, and continuous improvement practices to minimize the impact of incidents, prevent recurrence, and drive operational excellence in DevOps environments. I have implemented incident response processes, established incident command structures, and conducted post-incident reviews to identify root causes, lessons learned, and opportunities for improvement. Additionally, I have implemented corrective actions, automation, and preventive measures to address underlying issues and enhance system reliability and resilience. I have also facilitated blameless post-mortems, retrospectives, and Kaizen events to foster a culture of learning, collaboration, and continuous improvement across teams. 26. How do you ensure cross-functional collaboration and alignment between development, operations, and other business units in DevOps initiatives? Answer: ensuring cross-functional collaboration and alignment involves fostering a culture of trust, communication, and shared ownership, and establishing mechanisms for collaboration, feedback, and alignment. As a DevOps manager, I would promote cross-functional teams, facilitate regular meetings, stand-ups, and workshops to align priorities and coordinate activities. I would establish shared goals, metrics, and incentives to promote collaboration and accountability across development, operations, and other business units. Additionally, I would leverage tools and platforms for collaboration, documentation, and knowledge sharing to facilitate communication and transparency across teams and stakeholders. 27. Describe your experience with implementing DevOps practices in regulated industries like finance, healthcare, or government. Answer: have experience in implementing DevOps practices in regulated industries like finance, healthcare, or government, where security, compliance, and risk management are paramount. I have worked with compliance, legal, and audit teams to define regulatory requirements, assess risks, and establish governance frameworks for DevOps practices and technologies. I have implemented security controls, access controls, and audit logging to protect sensitive data and demonstrate compliance with regulations like PCI, DSS, HIPAA, or FedRAMP. Additionally, I have implemented change management, release management, and documentation processes to ensure traceability, transparency, and accountability in software delivery processes. 28. How do you stay updated with emerging technologies, industry trends, and best practices in DevOps and cloud computing? Answer: staying updated with emerging technologies, industry trends, and best practices involves continuous learning, experimentation, and participation in professional communities and events. As a DevOps manager, I regularly attend conferences, webinars, and meetups, read books, blogs, and research papers, and participate in online forums and discussion groups to stay informed about the latest developments and innovations in DevOps and cloud computing. Additionally, I encourage team members to pursue certifications, training, and self-directed learning, and I promote knowledge sharing and collaboration within the organization to foster a culture of continuous improvement and innovation. 29. How do you handle performance reviews, goal setting, and career development for team members in a DevOps organization? Answer: handling performance reviews, goal setting, and career development involves providing regular feedback, setting clear expectations, and offering opportunities for growth and advancement. As a DevOps manager, conduct regular one-on-one meetings with team members to discuss performance, goals, and development opportunities. I provide constructive feedback, recognize achievements, and identify areas for improvement. And I collaborate with team members to set SMART specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals aligned with their interests and career aspirations. Additionally, I support career development through training, mentorship, and coaching, and I advocate for advancement opportunities within the organization or through external networks and communities. 30. How do you handle conflicts, disagreements, and difficult conversations within your team or with stakeholders in DevOps initiatives? Answer: handling conflicts, disagreements, and difficult conversations involves active listening, empathy, and effective communication to understand perspectives, address concerns, and find mutually acceptable solutions. As a DevOps manager, I create a safe and inclusive environment where team members feel empowered to express their opinions and resolve conflicts constructively. I facilitate open discussions, encourage collaboration, and mediate conflicts impartially to foster understanding and consensus. Additionally, I lead by example, demonstrate transparency and integrity, and prioritize relationships and trust to build strong, cohesive teams and relationships with stakeholders. These interview questions and answers provide comprehensive insights into the role of a DevOps manager, covering various aspects such as leadership, technical expertise, collaboration, and continuous improvement. Use them to prepare for DevOps manager interviews and showcase your qualifications, experience, and capabilities effectively. For more exciting tips, tricks, and more importantly, for valuable insights of interviews, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. It has a lot of valuable information about various insights of interviews. It has a wide range of real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for interviews, and it has wide range of most asked interview questions and answers of various technologies like data science, SAP, AWS, DevOps, and full-stack web development, and more that will be useful during interviews. It has a wide range of most asked interview questions and answers and real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for freshers. For 2 to 3 years, experienced candidates, and for 5 or above years, experienced candidates to test their skills by knowing most asked interview questions and make themselves ready for interviews.